Hello, hello, hello. I guess this is a prog review, I guess. If you haven't read the title or description, I'm talking about squaring the circle. Come on, autofocus. Do your business. Doesn't want to focus. Come on, can you focus? Doesn't want to focus. Oh well, in the old days it used to focus. But anyway, it's focused. There we go. That's better. Just wanted it to focus. It's a documentary. This one's for Ray. You silly old sod. Alright, Ray? That's if you're watching. Probably not. Block! Because Ray hasn't got a sense of humour. Poor Ray. Anyway, it's a shame about Ray. But yeah, Squaring the Circle. It is the story of Hipgnosis and an Anton Corbijn film. Anton Corbijn is famous for, well, lots of stuff. He worked with U2 and people like that. But yeah, there's been many things about Hipgnosis. Many things. Books and things recently about Hipgnosis. There was a documentary a few years ago. It's probably about 10 years ago now, with Storm Thorgerson, which I think I did. I don't know if it's still up on the site. Because, you know, it might be. I don't know. It might be. But anyway, this is the flip side of it. Taking Aubrey Powell's view of Hipgnosis, Poe, as he was known, or is still known. Again, he's the survivor from that crowd because it was a partnership between him and Storm Thorgerson. Again, they were contemporaries, peers of Pink Floyd. And like a couple of chances, they got the gig designing the Floyd's Saucerful of Secrets album, and that was the kickstart to their career. And from there, they never really looked back. It was the launch of it, and again, this tells you the story of that. And again, Hipgnosis is a it's a design. I mean, Hipgnosis is a design aesthetic. You still see people today trying to, you know, pull off the Hipgnosis look on album sleeves. Not so much so because album sleeves aren't really a thing, but they're a way of doing things back in the day. And this tells their story, but this more so from the Aubrey Powell perspective. Again, Storm Thorgerson, it was a contentious, cantankerous character, and Powell, I guess, the more reasonable one. Again, two creative forces that help solidify the vision of Hipgnosis. And yes, there's lots of stories in here about the creation of the various album sleeves. People pop in, you know, the characters who were involved from the various bands, you know, like Led Zeppelin or Genesis, you know, 10cc, even Pink Floyd, I believe. Those characters wander in and, you know, explain the procedure and how these album covers came together. Again, Anton Corbijn, again, he just points to the camera. I'm sure there were questions asked to elicit responses. It's in black and white. The entire documentary is in black and white. I was thinking, bit arty that. But then I think there's a deliberate point to that, because when the album art is featured, or when the making of, you know, if there are any stills taken, alternate versions, or, you know, images taken from the actual creation of the sleeves, they're presented in colour, and it really does pop. It really makes you focus in on them, and there are some really good stories involved. Again, these players now, they're all getting a bit older. Again, Storm Thorgerson passed, I guess, must be nearly a decade ago, I think. So yeah, it's the last chance to hear these people possibly talking about these album sleeves. The documentary doesn't outstay its welcome. It's 101 minutes in length. And this is like the limited edition version. I suppose I better do a show and tell for those of you who live vicariously through me. It's the double pack. You've got this. Again, I still don't know why they bother doing this. You've got the Blu-ray and the DVD and a little booklet. Again, if you haven't got a Blu-ray player now, seriously, just seriously, really, you're that cheap. But then cheap bastards are known to watch this channel, so I do like the way my camera just doesn't want to. Oh, there it is. It's focusing now. So you get this little. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a limited edition thing. I don't know. There was some talk about it, but it's a it's a nice little set. I don't think there is a DVD and Blu-ray. You know, I think it's all one thing, and that's why you get the two discs. See, so many famous album sleeves that they're responsible for, and yeah, it's. I thought I really enjoyed it. I mean, I've heard a lot of the stories before because you know I've heard various books and read various interviews, and again seen the Storm Thorgerson interview back in the day. Yeah, it's not much to see there. It's just plain, just boring. So yeah, I mean, I thoroughly recommend it if you've got an hour and a half or so to kill and you want to wallow in the history and the artistry of those album sleeves. There are some great stories in there. There are the characters from the time, you know, stories of Led Zeppelin and Peter Grant, you know, things like that. It's one of those things, and we live in a time now where all this is gone. One of the funniest stories is Noel Gallagher. Again, spoiler. Talking to his daughter about album artwork. Again, I won't spoil it. It's funny, and it illustrates how we're all old farts, and how everyone's moved on. You know, so it's well worth getting just for that, to make yourself feel old and make you realise that, you know, those were amazing times. And again, Hipgnosis only lasted, crikey, was it 10 to 15 years before it imploded? So yeah, I mean, I think Storm Thorgerson did some work externally, but it wasn't Hipgnosis, if you know what I mean. It was a separate thing. Hipgnosis was kind of disbanded in the mid 80s when they tried to move into film production, and yeah, that didn't go too well either. So yeah, it's a fascinating story if you like album artwork or you like the work of Hipgnosis, and I do. You have to, because of all those prog albums that they were involved in, and there's a real gut punch at the end of it. Again, don't want to spoil it for you. It ends on a really, I don't know. It ends on a note. Again, don't want to spoil it. And it got to me. You know, this is it hit. Aubrey Power's last word, and kind of illustrates the purpose of the documentary, of time passing, and you know, the last of their breed sort of thing. So yeah, I'm sure you could. You don't know if you're not into the discs and you're not into the tangible product, you can stream it. I believe you can also rent it out there in streaming land, you know, at iTunes and whatnot, digital platform of your choice. It's there, so I recommend it. I give it a hearty thumbs up. Definitely worth your while, Ray, because this one's for you big silly sod. And hopefully, well, he's probably gone off in a huff and he's probably not watching it out of spite, but there you go, recommended. Thank you for watching. That was Square in the Circle, the history of Hipgnosis, with Anton Corbijn directing and many people talking about about the various album sleeves that were designed. that was it. Thank you for watching. There's only one more thing to say by now. You should know what that is, and that is prog on.